Acceptance of reality. When we're going through challenging times, adversity, anxiety, fear, struggle, it's very easy to deny what's happening. But one of the ways we start tapping into that energy of resilience, of actually learning how to recover from the crappy situation, is to accept the reality, that unconditional acceptance of the reality. It's not easy. It doesn't mean that we like that reality that we're in, but it's simply about accepting the reality. So only recently I had to accept a reality where we were not able to get the permit to travel into New South Wales to attend the funeral of my loved one who had passed. And my reaction was to act like a big baby, cry, throw a bit of a tantrum. And then once those emotions were spent, the only thing left to do was to accept it. And it's interesting, the moment the acceptance came, the moment I settled into the acceptance of that painful reality of not being able to be there to say my goodbyes, I was able to tap into my own way of saying goodbye. And I love writing, and I love writing poetry. And I ended up writing a poem to say goodbye to my loved one. And it was amazing how much relief it brought me, and peace. So when we're going through these challenges, acceptance is a really great way to segue into that energy of resilience. And then letting go of the blame game. It's easy to blame others, and that's our tendency, isn't it? When times are tough, we're going through a challenging time, we don't want to accept the reality of it, we can tend to blame others. So even through pandemics, even through health crisis, the current times, there's a lot of blaming going on. People, finger pointing at leaders and at other countries and all of those things. And yet, that's not going to change the fact that we're going through it, that we are in a situation where we need to bring numbers down. There's a lot of conspiracy theories, but none of us can tell the people who have lost loved ones that isn't a reality. People who have not been able to say goodbye to their loved ones, who have had to say goodbye via FaceTimes and WhatsApp and all those other things. That is the reality of what's going on. And blaming and pointing finger and all of the things that we can tend to do when we're anxious, afraid, going through stressful times, none of that helps either. And it certainly doesn't help us build resilience. So the thing to be aware of is to not do the blame game, and to get into the state of acceptance as soon as we can, to segue into building that resilience and recovering from the challenging situation.